You know, it's been a day. It has been a day.
Has it?
Yeah.
Tell me. Tell me
I
everything.
mean, all the things. And I know I'm late, and I know you've got your assessor coming.
He'll be fine. He'll wait downstairs. I just bought a new doormat too that says home with a football for the O.
Stop.
He's gonna be
Stop.
like, I can't sell your place. I'm sorry.
Maybe he'll be cute.
Maybe it'll be cute, and maybe it'll. We have to tell. Okay, we have to tell our bunchies what I sent you. Okay, so I have a
Please.
sleep app that like records, sounds at night so that you know if you're snoring or you're coughing or you're haunted or whatever it is. And I've just been doing it for so long that I'm like attached to it now. I have to do it. So I'm reading. Shout out Annabelle. I'm reading. It's a Love Story is my side piece, right? And I'm like halfway through. I read so much last night. It was like 1:45 in the morning. I'm like, oh God, they're like, I gotta put it away. I gotta put it away. I put it down. But it was right when the main characters just kissed, and it was so amazing. And I just like softly to myself go, I hope so. It's so soft and sad. I go, I hope one day I have a love like that.
Oh, here's the fun part, Bunchies. I got to hear her actually say it from the app. And it was the most precious, loving, tender, hopeful, just honestly, I thought it was so sweet because you've gone through so much in life, in relationships, and all of it. And to still have that just organic, vulnerable, precious little moment, I go, I know that's right. So maybe
Some may call it delusional, but I appreciate that.
maybe this guy today coming over after the pod's gonna be.
It's not. It's Shelly's real estate guy, and he's great, but he is married with kids.
Well, shucks, oh darn
you.
it. My Shayla, I can't believe I'm seeing you again. Guys, I just got back from California where Molly lives. I live in Florida. We went for a little birthday trip, a little promo for a novel bunch trip, and I just have to say, face to face, like, thank you so much for everything. It was the best birthday of my life. Like, I'm not kidding. The absolute
Truly,
freaking best.
it was the best. We woke up, we got our hair and makeup done. Shout out Emma, my girl, who I love. You got your hair and makeup done. Then
By
we went,
Ruth. Yes.
by Ruth. Shout out Ruth and Emma. We went down, we had photos, and then we went back to my house. We had some drinks, and then we went out to dinner, and then we went to Birds, and we saw Bruno Mars, and he said that Alyssa was 47, which we didn't
First
really
he
like.
said I was 23, and I
He was
said
being a cheeky little bastard.
he was being cheeky, but whatever. And like I had mentioned in the last podcast, because at the end of our last book, Nora goes off script.
Yeah.
She went to the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I so badly wanted to go to the Polo Lounge. So we had a nice little swanky din din there, and everyone who was there were just so fabulous. Such a great group of friends, and like we had ourselves a time.
We really
and
did.
Then at the end of the night, we went to Birds, which is this like darling little club or members only club, and they had this photo booth, guys. And because I had sent myself a quart of mist and fury to Molly's because we were going to bedazzle it, but I was like, I'm not going to carry this in my suitcase. Let me send it to Molly's. And she brought it to me and gave me like these cutie little gifts too for bedazzling. But I had it with me. So like my ass is walking around this club with my book.
She had the death hold that she had on that book was like just taking it around as though this is very normal behavior to be out at like one of the most exclusive places in Los Angeles with her death grip on her S.J. Maas book.
And then I kept bringing it to the photo booth, and you and I took so many photos, and I was just living my best life. It was my birthday. I'll hold my book if I want to,
You do what
baby.
you want, baby. You do what you want.
Welcome, everybody, to A Novel Bunch, your modern day book club. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. And if you're listening on a platform like iTunes or Audible and you're loving the vibes, be sure to leave us a review. It really helps us to connect with fellow book lovers. Now, today, we are going to be covering chapters 11 through 22 of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Miss Sarah J. Maas.
I got mine too.
Girl, by the way, last episode, I kept calling it A Court of Thorn and Roses.
You also kept saying woof, so we're getting there.
People called me out, and I was like, oh, I guess.
I love it.
I
By the
guess
way,
it is a
comment
wolf.
on our YouTube videos because we love to see them. We love to laugh. We love to
Yes.
respond. Like
Yes.
this is an interactive book club, so chat with us. That's half the fun. It has been the hardest thing of my life to pretend like I don't know what's going on in this book, knowing everything that I know. But as I reread it, because I've been a little bit sharp with you for some of your takes, and as I reread it, I realize why you're in the mental place that you're in.
I'm telling you, it's because this writer is so freaking phenomenal that I don't care who knows it. I am freaking Team Tamlin. I love this man.
He
He's
loves
so good
Daddy
for
Tam.
Feyre. I do. And it's so funny now when we text about it, I call him Daddy Tam, which I thought was hysterical at first. I mean, it's still hysterical. But
Daddy Tam.
Freddie's probably like, who's Daddy Tam?
By the way, Daddy Tam is not the one you have to be worried about, Freddie.
No,
So,
I wouldn't know yet.
that's right. That's right. Okay, so chapter 11. Let's go. We're gonna go back because we've had a vacation in between. We've had all kinds of things in between. Feyre starts packing up her things to escape with her dad because remember at the end of last episode, she's looking outside of the castle and she sees her dad in the corner. So she's
Yep.
rushing around. She's trying to pack stuff up. She's like, I'm gonna escape with my dad. This is it. She goes down there. Tamlin grabs her.
Grabs her by the elbow and he says, going somewhere?
Girl.
Go on. I just love that. I'm sorry.
As we already know, we're going to get the description, the physicality we're going to get from Melissa. So Daddy Tam grabs her and says, are you going somewhere? And then he says, remember, you are a human in a fairy world. You cannot trust your senses. Look again. And she looks and it's like 3 bow and arrows. She looks again and it's her sisters crying. She looks again and it's her dad. And she realizes this has all just been a glamour or a glimmer or whatever they call
Glamour,
it.
yeah. It's like a veil that they put
yeah.
over your vision, so it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, and she explains to him that she just wants to go home, and I don't blame her. But we realize because we're thinking like her sister and her sisters and her dad are so lax about her being like nobody tried to save her or protect her or really care. They're very rude to her. So like, why are you so desperate to go back to these people who don't seem to care? And we find out that she had made a promise to her mom on her deathbed that she would take care of her family, and so a promise is incredibly important in all the worlds, but particularly in this world that Sarah J. Maas has created for the humans.
Yep. And as Tamlin kind of calms down a little bit, his claws retract. And I'm so curious because we see this quite a bit throughout this book and the story. What do you see? Do you physically see like, what is it? That's like Spider-Man. Is it coming out from here? Is it coming out from here? Are they?
In my head, I'm going Wolverine. It's coming out from here. Like they're coming out from there. And they kind of come out a little bit when he's angry and then they go back in. That's where I'm.
Oh, I
Where are they
like that.
coming from? What do you mean, the
Like,
wrist? Like,
yeah,
shoot that
and I'm
here?
like,
What's happening?
this feels very weird every time I'm envisioning it. I'm like, it's not cool or sexy. But then again, I thought Lucien was Danny McBride, so.
Which he is still Danny McBride in my head
Yes,
every
yes,
time that I see him, and it makes everything so much better because it's very clear. By the way, the little creatures that can turn into whatever they turn into what you want, so you go to them and then they'll lure you out and then they'll eat you. Yikes! They're called a puka. So we learn about pukas.
Don't love that.
But it's very clear that Lucien loves his friend, right? He explains that Tamlin gets into these moods trying to protect everyone against the sickness.
Also, too, I was just going to say, Tamlin had mentioned, he's like, yeah, we don't need sentries if I'm here because he literally is deadly enough. So we keep learning that this man is powerful. So
Big Daddy energy. Big Daddy Tam. By the way, I'm so excited. I sent our girls, Sherry and Tammy, our Alabama family, I sent them the Akatar book so that they could follow along with us. So I hope you bitches are reading right now because you got a lot of reading to do to keep up with us.
So then Feyre has a nightmare about killing Andras. All these names
Really
and
messed
stuff.
with her. Andras.
Andras.
I don't know. We're fighting for our lives here with some of these words, but
I know, but I was curious to ask you, when Tamlin leaves, and we see this a bunch in these few chapters, she said it was such a relief for her. And I'm curious, why do you think that is? Like, she up front just like hates this guy. And I'm like, what's the deal? Is it because he like kidnapped her? Is it because he's deadly? Why is she's cool with Lucien a little bit. Like they am I saying his name correct?
Lucien, I don't know, something like that. Here's what I think. I mean, one, remember the humans have been told from birth that the fairies are evil, malicious, killers, poison you. They are awful, awful, awful people. So she already is like, don't love this. Lucien kind of is cheeky and fun, and that
Mm-hmm.
immediately puts your guard down. But I think feels weird about him because what's the opposite of love?
Here comes my little therapist psychology queen.
You know when the little boy pulls your pigtails in
I'm
school?
like, lust?
Bored. It's because he's starting to feel things and he's not quite sure, so he's pulling your pigtails to see what's going on. So Feyre's like, ugh, fucking Tamlin, get out of
Yes.
here. That's
Okay.
what I think. What about you?
Okay. I mean, I feel like because he's so deadly and she keeps seeing this and hearing this, I think maybe she's kind of like, I don't trust this. Like, you know how you get gut feelings and your body kind of is like, probably shouldn't go down that dark alley alone.
I ignore it often, yeah. By the way, I actually just read a study that said the female's pH balance will go wrong if you're with the right or the wrong partner. So the female body, the pH of our body down there, will reject a soul that is not supposed to be in there with you. So if you're getting a lot of like yeast infections, if you're getting a lot of bad stuff,
Isn't that funny? Not funny, but interesting.
your girl's
Listen
trying
to
to tell
your
you something.
bodies, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. On that note, rolling into chapter 12.
We're going to dive right into the fact that Feyre can't read or write. In chapter 12, we find out about that.
Oh, but she would have loved this book.
She would have loved this book. But she's going around the castle. Because remember, Feyre's like a big killer in her own right. Like, she's a bad bitch. She killed a fairy with just an arrow, whatever. So she may not be able to really read or write very well. But she's taking a little map and she's mapping around where everything is so that if she has to leave at the last second, she'll be good to go. And then who comes back again?
Daddy Tam comes back and he asks her, he goes, "You can't read or write, can you?" And I'm like, why do you care, sir? I mean, I kind of love it.
Of course. There's definitely a little thing that's starting to like it's very much giving Beauty and the Beast, right? The Beast is like, I don't really care about blah blah blah, and then every once in a while it's like, I heard you like books, so here's my library if you want to see it. And like just very slowly
Yeah.
they're both putting their guard down. But when Tamlin shows up, he's super bloody and beat up because he killed the Bogge, which we've been told nothing can kill it, right? It's an unkillable creature except Daddy Tamlin, who killed it like that. But the Bogge bit him, and I guess there's poison in the Bogge bite that the Fae can't heal very quickly, so she very delicately takes him to the infirmary.
Which I go, oh my God, they're on their way. I got really excited at that point because it's kind of the first time both their guards have been a little down. And she even said to him for the first time, she goes, "Oh, you're hurt." Like she cared a little bit, and we have never felt or seen that before.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, what's going to happen in here?
Here's what was cool too is that he was like, I can still, once she wrapped it up, he's like, I can still move my hand. And how did you learn this? She's like, trial and error. I mean, when you get hurt and you got to still shoot a bow and arrow to get food for your family, you got to figure out how to wrap it. And he's just very intrigued by her. Like she's so self-sufficient and she's such a little baddie, and he sees that, and I really like that he sees that.
Well, and remember in the very beginning too, we were making jokes about it, but when he was the wolf to go get the wolf.
Adorable. Never stop saying woof. Never ever stop saying woof. Yes, baby, when he gets the woof to what?
He loved that she was like speaking back to him and didn't care and was this little tiny girl with her dagger like, I got you, and she didn't back down. Like he loves that. But back to this, Feyre remembers Lucien's description of Tamlin's isolation and how he never wanted to rule, and she felt sorry for him. And it made me wonder, I'm curious what could have happened that he now is ruling. Like the lands weren't supposed to be his. Did this have something to do with having other siblings who were next to rule? Like what's this big thing that happened? Because he seems very alone, very brooding, minus his friend, of course. But it kind of makes you wonder. He's got this huge manor all to himself. What's
He
going
kind of
on?
reminds me, and this is going to be a big stretch, and I'm not sure if this will resonate with you or any of our listeners. He kind of reminds me of the Denver Nuggets player Jokic, who's like the best player to ever play basketball, MVP back to back to back years, championships, but all he wants to do is be home in Serbia with his horses. So he's got this God-given
Oh,
talent, and he's
yeah,
utilizing it, right? And he's making
yeah.
millions and millions of dollars, but he's this soft little horse boy that just wants to be back home. We learn that Tamlin is this very physically fit brooding killer, but we find out that he is wants to play the fiddle. Like
Yeah,
he's got a brutal dad and brothers, and he never
yeah.
wanted to have this position, but it was bestowed upon him, which we find out why a little bit later.
And anytime he kills, though, he does brood. He doesn't
Yeah,
like
it
it.
hurts him.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh, little gentle giant, like, come on,
Yeah,
Feyre, open your eyes, baby.
I know.
So she cleans his wound. She's wrapping it up, like you mentioned, and Feyre says the room became too small and too hot. And I'm like, is this a little foreshadow? Are we going to get a little bit more? And Tamlin says, you aren't what I expected for a human. So I'm like,
Hmm.
well, I wonder if he's met humans, maybe. Maybe
Well,
not.
he's like what, 500 years old or something like that. I'm sure he's been around. I'm sure he's at some point, right?
But he seems very interested, like he's never seen a human like this, which obviously she's
Right.
kind of one in a billion. The next morning, Feyre walks down to hear Lucien and Tamlin arguing. It appears as though Tamlin is just giving up. And Lucien says, back off. While you seal our fates and ruin everything, I stayed with you out of hope, not to watch you stumble. For someone with a heart of stone, yours is certainly soft these days. And I'm like, what? Like, what kind of powers do these people have? I mean, I guess they're not people. I guess they're fairies.
Yeah. What are these fairies about?
That's a bold statement.
Yeah. Well, and she's eavesdropping. She accidentally hears. She bumps something. They hear. She goes, "Oh, sorry. I was just hoping, Lucian, you could come hunting. We go hunting and whatever." And we find out there's something called the blight, which is the sickness that's happening everywhere, and that it's dissolving the borders between all the fairy lands, night court, day court, autumn court, all the courts that we're learning about. And people are getting really sick. And for some reason, it kind of seems like Tamlin can stop this, and it feels like Lucian. It feels like his best friend has given up and isn't trying. Like there seems to be a lot of
Yeah.
disarray here at the Supreme Court with our boys.
Now, I don't remember, or I don't know if you remember what you kind of thought the first time reading, because you said it was a while ago, correct? That you,
Hmm.
do you remember when you first heard of the blight, what you thought of that? Because to me, it seems like a really bad illness that's just like sweeping through. And I'm like, what can Tamlin really do to
Right.
stop this? Is it magic? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Do you,
Well, I think I read it pre-pandemic, so now I can really picture what the blight is, or what I would think it is. It's like kind of like a pandemic situation, right?
oh,
People are getting sick, people are dying, people can't fight it. It's going into the human world, it's spreading, blah blah blah. So that's kind of what I think.
interesting. And then this is a giggle, kick my feet moment. Tamlin asks Feyre, has anyone ever taken care of you?
Like he sees her. I think he kind of sees her a little bit. I think they see each other a little bit.
Yeah. Because they're both fighting for their lives for different
Yeah.
reasons. And like even her with her family, she did it for her family. And it seems
Hmm.
like maybe he's doing it for his friend, for his family, whatever it's going to end up being. But they both seem like they kind of don't want to be doing it, but they're doing it because they have to
Promised,
survive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think they're starting to bond over that for sure.
Yep. They're wrapping up everything with the hand, and he says her name, and I remember Farah's like, he said my name with such intimacy, and they're just giving us all these moments now that I feel we're finally like,
Yeah.
oh, this could happen. At first I really wanted it to happen, but she was not giving him anything. She
Hmm.
was very closed off, and now they're kind
Which I
of
appreciate, right? Because like as much as we want it to happen fast, make us earn it,
the build up, baby.
which I
Yes.
could take into real life. Make us earn it. You have to prove to me you're worthy of my
That's
love,
right.
adoration,
That's right.
respect, honor, whatever it is. But he does know that she stole the little butter knife at dinner, which I thought was hilarious.
So cute.
And probably
Did it
turns him on a little bit that even though he knows that she can do nothing with it. She's a fighter, and he likes that.
That's right. And didn't he say, because she's like, how did you know? Could you smell it? And he's like, I was trained to see these sorts of things, little baby human.
Yeah,
It is cute. It's
also, his
cute.
senses are crazy, right? So like he can tell all the things. Chapter 3, he takes her into this like very opulent study, and he leaves her alone to study the books because he knows that she can't really read or write.
Which really quick, he waves his freaking hand when he walked in. I just couldn't believe this, and it turned all the candles on with the magic, and I'm like, I would love these little things that I see.
Just imagine you're just like boop, and everything like what I would give to live in a world of magic.
Me too. Go on.
Well, so while she's wandering around this little study, because he kind of drops her off and then he dips, she sees this beautiful mural, and she's assuming that this is maybe the beginning of Prythian. She sees a big cauldron. There's a small woman pouring the cauldron out onto what we're imagining our current world is, but she looks closer and it's not liquid. It's like ancient Fey symbols, which is so cool. She sees the Fey and human battles. What was left below went to the humans. What was above was divided into all the courts. So she's really setting the scene of this world, right? So we have Prythian and its 7 courts. We have autumn, summer, winter, dawn, day, night, and I don't know if we've learned the next one yet. But there is also some kind of weird mountain in the middle of it.
Yes.
And that's all we know.
Now, just based off of this little map and kind of the names of it, did you have an immediate one just reading the first time that you go, ooh, I'd vibe with that court?
Night court.
Night?
I love nighttime. I love lights. I love city. I love star. I love star. So I feel like that would be
your jam.
Yeah.
I feel like I would, I kind of am biased, but I feel like spring court or maybe summer court. Summer I could vibe with. Definitely not winter for me. I am an autumn girl. I almost bought pumpkin spice creamer today, and I go, it's a little too early. Let's relax.
It's August.
Autumn court I can mess with.
Yeah.
I really
well,
could.
August 1, I called it Spookyween.
Summerween.
Spookyween.
So he leaves her alone.
When she's trying to write notes, I think she's trying to write a note to her family to let them know that she's safe, and she's really struggling. So she sees a couple words, and she's making a little list of all the words that she doesn't know that she wants to learn.
Can you imagine, though, trying to teach yourself English? Like, that is something that fascinates me, that as humans, we are able to raise children to communicate in so many forms, and language can be one. That always will blow my mind. I'm like, what is that?
Oh, it's so cool. It's such a cool thing that our brain has developed. And fun fact, your face plasticizes by the time you hit about 11. So if you want your child to learn a language and have it sound like they could be native, they have to learn before about 11, because everything kind of settles in. And then you can still learn the language later on, but you won't be able to make your mouth make the movement of like, porque mi amor es español. You know, like if you can talk in Spanish, I've been talking for so long in Spanish that I can kind of emulate the accent. But had I learned it post 11 or 12, it would have been more like, hola, me llamo Molly. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's how I speak, even though I'm Mexican. It's fine. It's fine. You know, I do have friends who they grew up in households where one parent would speak to them in English and the other parent would speak to them in only Spanish. So they have this perfect English and Spanish. And I'm like, oh, I love that. But
I love it too. I love it too.
But back to when Feyre was looking at all the courts, she said the hairs on my arms rose looking at night court. And I go, oh, why is that?
Interesting little Easter egg.
But then Tamlin says he can help her to learn to read and
He
write.
comes back and he's like, I know you want to write your dad a letter. I can help you. And she's like, why? So I can humiliate myself in front of you because you know I can't read or write. Like, she's still, the walls are up, right? And he's like tapping, but he's not really trying very hard to bring the walls down. He's like doing a tap, and if she says no, then he leaves.
Brooding. He just dips out.
Yeah, he goes to brood. But Feyre is left wondering, you know, even though she's a lowly human, has she maybe met somebody who understands the burden of taking care of others, that they maybe didn't ask for that burden, but it has been bestowed upon them?
Like, we literally just said that. That's why they're bonding. They're coming together. Now, is this a healthy bonding, or is this more trauma bonding?
I like the pace of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes trauma bond lends it to like really fast connection because trauma makes us, latch on to somebody else. It's why if you do a movie with a bunch of actors, we're inseparable after a month and then we never talk to each other again because you're just around each other 24/7. And obviously Feyre and Lucien and Tamlin are. But I like the
Right.
pace of this.
So it feels good.
It feels good. But we
And
do know that she wants to catch the Suriel, right?
mhm.
Because she's been told that if she catches the Suriel, she
And
can
what's
ask
the
it anything.
cereal? What
The
is
Suriel
that?
is the creature that is all truth telling. If you can catch it, you can ask it whatever you want, and it has to tell you the truth. But it's incredibly hard to catch, apparently. So Feyre goes to Lucien, who's feeling a little cheeky, and tells her, well, I wouldn't recommend you catch the cereal, but if somebody were to try, she should go to the kitchen and get some dead chickens and then set a trap and find what. He kind of basically tells her exactly what to do. And then my
Mm.
quote of the week happens where Lucien says, I think I'm starting to like you for a murdering human.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride,
He
you
killed
silly.
that
You little
delivery.
silly.
I did love that. And also, I noticed at the end of this chapter too, Tamlin mentions to Feyre, so you'll let Lucien take you on hunts. And I'm like, are you getting a little jelly, baby? Like,
Yeah,
are
Daddy
we?
Tam.
I will tell you back to Lucien though, I am loving their little, it's just like fun
I
and
love their banter. I love it.
so cute
Love
together.
it. I love their banter. I think it's so cheeky and fun, and she's so sassy, and he's so sassy, and it's great. I love it.
Do you ever feel that there could be romantic relations between the two of them?
I was just gonna say I love it because it doesn't feel sexual in any way. It just feels
Not
like
at
the homie.
all. I agree.
hmm
I
hmm
agree. I
I
love
love it.
that.
But so now Feyre goes out to go heed Lucian's warning and catch the Suriel, which is very hard to do. But remember, our girl is equipped. She is
Yes.
equipped.
Yes.
And she catches it. She sets a trap. She waits all day. She catches it. And I love Sarah J. Maas's descriptions of these scary characters because you can truly just picture. So when she's describing the Suriel, she says, a face that looked like it had been crafted from dried, weather-worn bone. Its skin either forgotten or discarded, a lipless mouth and two long teeth held by blackened gums, slitted holes for nostrils, and eyes that were nothing more than swirling pits of milky white. Like, I immediately can see this.
No, I know. And it's a little terrifying. Like this, there were a few things, especially in the beginning, that I shared with you where I was like a little scared reading it alone.
This is a scary book.
Yeah.
This is a scary book.
Yeah. But I
You
love
know?
it though. I love
Me
it.
too. Me too. And so is Harry Potter. Like these worlds are scary.
Sure.
It's good
Sure.
versus evil, right? In any
Yep.
capacity. So you've got to really, if you're going to write good versus evil, the evil better be really
Yep.
evil because we
Her
want to watch it
imagery
for
is
real.
insane.
Gosh, she's good at
Insane. The one thing I wanted to ask you too, when you first read, did you think that Tamlin inviting Feyre into the study was more to help her grow, or do you think he was courting her?
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't know if he genuinely wants, I don't know if he genuinely cares about her learning how to read and write,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think he wants to show her that it's okay here and safe here.
Mm.
And so if you want to be here and if you want to write your dad a letter and if you need help, it's like, it feels a little bit like he's just trying to be like,
Just help out. You know, one of my theories that I originally thought of when I first started reading this is I feel like Tamlin, since he's much older, knew her from a past life. Like maybe she was a different human, and that I think it was his lover. I think maybe it was his lover and they were together, and for some reason he wants her back. So that's kind of the train my brain's on. But
okay.
I feel like he knows her, which would make sense for all this kind of weird behavior a little bit.
Huh.
Like even from the very first day when he tried to give her the food and served her. And, I was just kind of like, why are you being so nice to this girl who just killed your bestie?
Yeah.
You know? Why
Interesting.
are you taking care of her? So
Unless she's just super hot because, pretty privileged.
could be. Sarah, you let us
Yeah,
know.
you're right.
We'll find out.
Yeah, he's going above and beyond, and it doesn't
Mhm.
really quite make sense why yet.
Yep.
So I totally agree. But she catches the cereal and she asks if she can go home. If there's any way the treaty can be broken, she can go home, and he says no. So you're stuck here, boo. But he does divulge that Tamlin is a High Lord. the High Lord of the Spring Court.
Oh,
Daddy Tam.
yes. So she should stay in Spring Court.
Yes. So she asks about the blight, and the Suriel says, just stay with the High Lord.
Ooh, you better stay with Daddy Tam, baby.
But he doesn't say Tamlin.
How many High Lords are there?
7.
Oh, God.
But for all intents and purposes, we're assuming it's Tamlin, right? Suriel says, stay with the High Lord and you will be safe. Right.
At this rate.
We learn of the king of Highburn, who rules on a throne of human bones. And he hated the treaty that was made between the Fae and the humans so much that he got some of his like cronies to go in there and infiltrate, and this huge war broke out. And that's where we're at right now.
You know, before when she was trying to catch the Suriel, I remember this just like stuck out to me. But Feyre said that her bowels were watery. So I'm like, are we like going right then and there?
Are
like,
we shitting ourselves?
Is that what's happening? Because I had to go back and reread that. It's like, okay.
All right.
Just wash up before you go see Daddy Tam.
Yeah, hop in that brook. Hop in that brook once you fight the Suriel out, baby. Oh, these scary creatures come in the middle of the conversation called the Naga.
The Naga.
The Naga.
They're scary.
And they're scary. Big fairies, and they are covered in dark scales, a horrendous combination of serpentine features and male humanoid bodies with flesh-shredding talons. And they're like, we're hungry, what a treat, we're gonna kill you, bitch, you stupid human. And Feyre does the most amazing thing. She takes her bow and arrow and she shoots to set the Suriel free before she protects herself. Which, who would ever... The Suriel could also kill you. So that's such beautiful insight into this woman and, her capacity to care for others that she doesn't even know.
I love that so much, that you just through one little action, she wanted to save the Suriel, which you never know, being in this land, making, friends that could really serve you later. So
I feel like it's going to come back. I feel like it was so pivotal that she saved the Suriel first, because it was saying to her, like, please set me free. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. And so she sets him free, and then she fights the Naga. So, like, I do believe that at some point the Suriel will come back when she needs it most.
Ooh, she made a little friend with these little monsters.
Would you? I feel like this is what I would do. I feel like I would befriend all these little creatures and...
Abso-freaking-lutely. And you know what? We're so Delulu. We would be very much like Feyre and be like, hey.
This huge buck showed up at my dad's backyard that I sent you a picture of, and big horns or antlers or whatever, and it was just sitting there watching him, and I was like, Dad, I think this is a spirit. And neither here nor there. Anyway, I go up to it, go see if, and he's like, this is good, and he does, and the buck just stays there and relaxes, doesn't do anything, but like, I'm the dumb human that's like, go near the wild animal, what could go wrong?
Girl, they're telling me that coyotes are trying to
domesticate.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'd be the crazy
100%.
Like, come here, little guy. You a little treat.
There's plenty at Shelly's house. You're more than welcome to go pick up a few coyotes there.
Story. Oh my God, don't send me there. I'll come home on the plane. They'll be like, man, that's not a dog.
We sent Chriselle the video in our group chat, and Chriselle was like, oh my God, I want one. I was like, Chriselle, no, you have a little tiny dog that coyote will eat with no hesitation.
That part, you got to be very careful.
Right.
So, yeah, in this land, I would just be Delulu AF. And
of course.
I'm not sorry.
But she tries to kill the Naga. There's like 4 of them. She takes out 2 of them. And then screams, because remember, Lucien said, if you were to go find the Suriel, and if you were to get in trouble and screamed, I would come after you. He doesn't.
He did not. No, he did not. Daddy Tamlin.
Boom.
He came through.
So he comes to save her.
Came to save her, and it reminds me that the Suriel said to stay with the High Lord. So I'm like, look at this. Clearly, this is proof.
The Suriel was right.
Yep, the proof's in the pudding, baby.
Stay with Daddy Tam, boo.
At this point, I mean, I'm so sorry, but I'm very Team Tamlin.
Of course, me too. It's hot.
he's saving her from the Naga.
Mm-hmm.
He gave her the manor to stay in. He literally said, here's a stylist and hair makeup artist on demand for you whenever you'd please, whatever you like. I mean,
Dream.
I'd be cooked if I was in the
Absolutely.
spring court.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm floating away. Goodbye.
So then we go into chapter 16, and
Yep.
Alice is brushing Feyre's hair, which, what do you know?
Trying to clean her up from.
And Alice was a little PO'd at her. She
Yes.
kept calling her girl. They keep calling her girl, and everyone's calling her girl, and it really cracks me up because it's just supposed to be like attitude-y, like,
Right.
okay, girl.
Which I remember one time I was fighting with my neighbor who kept letting her dog pee in front of my house. And I was like, I caught it on Ring camera. And I went to go and I was like, girl. She's like, stop calling me girl. I was like, why am I calling her girl? I guess it's just like, I don't know, an aggressive.
It's more, like, it's just, usually you say girl for someone who's young, and someone who's younger might not
Right.
have.
But remember, to the fairies, she is
a girl. That's true.
like a
That's
peanut
true.
to them. They've been living around for centuries.
Talk about an age gap romance. This is 19 and 500. So Alice is brushing her hair, and she knew, obviously, she went to catch a Suriel, and we find out that Alice has a family. We didn't know this before. Her sisters, she has 2 sons, and her sister and her husband were killed 50 years ago.
Yes.
And we also learned, too, that the Fae children, they age differently.
And they're very rare. It's very hard to conceive a Fae kid. Which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. Like, if you're living thousands of years, if they were to, be popping them out like humans do, they'd overpower the land so quickly.
So they were saying that it's really hard to conceive?
I think it's really hard to conceive. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if the female fairies have a limit on their eggs.
Oh, I wonder if they'd have IVF for the fairies.
We should write Sarah J. Maas about that one.
Question about the egg freezing situation with the Fae. Alice knows that Feyre went to go catch the Suriel, right? And is furious with her. And she's like, dude, I'm trying to get back to my family. She's like, you're not the only one that has a family. And Feyre goes, what? She goes, yeah, my sister and her husband were killed and left me 2 kids, and they're my whole world. And I'm still here being responsible, trying to live, this responsible life. So they had a little bit of a tiff, but now we're learning a little bit more about Alice, and I'm really Alice has her back, even if it's kind of like in a Lucien way where they're like kind of push and pull, cheeky, funny, like whatever. But Alice does say, Lucien was trying to get you killed, telling you to get some chickens. Like, if you would have given the Suriel a robe, he would have groveled at your feet and told you whatever you needed to know. So now we know, Lucien, what the fuck, man? Were you fucking with her, or were you trying to get her killed?
Kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was like, what's happening? So then she goes and has dinner with Tamlin, and there is a big reveal because Lucien's there as well. Fairies can, in fact, lie, and the iron does not harm them, only ash.
Correct.
And Tamlin then said, you went to catch the Suriel? I caught the Suriel, she corrected. And did it tell you what you wanted to know, he asked. We were interrupted by the Naga, Feyre responded. Tamlin found her list of words she wrote out and reads the list aloud, and then he says, is this a poem about murdering me and then burning my body? And I'm like, oh, cute. They're having a fun little banter,
they're
too.
all becoming 3-bet like you, me, and Freddie. They're all becoming besties. 2 very clear lovers and the kind of outlier, but...
It's perfect. It's perfect. And then, blinded by her shame, she gets up, she tries to leave, but she runs right into his chest because he moves really fast. So he's so quick. And she's like, oh my goodness. And Tamlin is, dare we say, calm, caring, loving, respectful, all the things to her.
Smells good, buff.
And he... And he says to her, you truly love your family. They're fools for not seeing it. Do you even know how to laugh? And she's like, I don't want your pity. Stop this. And he goes, what about a friend? Tammy. And he explains that 500 years ago, the fairies and humans were so close that they went to war to fight for them.
Yeah, because she goes, why would you want to befriend a lowly human like me? Like, she very much doesn't think much of herself compared to a fairy, and I understand, but like, she's a wonderful living thing, and so why, but he says, just so you know, humans and fairies were homies 500 years ago. We fucking fought by each other's side in battle. We were so close. So like,
but then what happened for this frickin' wall to go up? Because it seems very much now like they live separate lives.
We
We
do.
do not
Yeah.
coexist together.
Well,
But
that was in the treaty. So there was this huge, the fairies, I believe, wanted to kill all of them. And so the humans and their fairy allies fought back. And so then they came to this agreement of like, fine, you fairies stay over there, humans, you stay over there,
Yep.
and we're going to build this wall.
So then Tamlin, at this point, we learned that during this war, he was a child. So he really is 500 plus years old.
God.
And we find out that Tam glamored her family's memories, so put a veil over it to remember it a little bit differently. And he made them think that Feyre went and lived with a rich aunt. And he took care of them too. Like he put them up, made sure that they weren't starving and, you know, just very well off, which I go, you're really taking care of the family. Now she doesn't have to be so nervous anymore about the promise she made that to her mom.
Yeah. Well, because she's trying to understand. She's like, dude, you don't understand. My family has no idea where I am. They have no idea what's happening. Like, at least let me tell. And he's like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I glamored them and said, you're just off with a rich aunt. They have everything that they could ever need. And they're not fearful that you're living in the fairy world because I glamored them all. So he really was intentional with taking care of her family. Which goes back to your hypothesis that he recognizes like her soul from a past life or something, because he really is being intentional with how he takes care of her.
Yeah, and I love it. It's getting me. Tamlin shows care in, I feel like it's more quiet ways.
Yeah.
And do these acts feel genuine to you, or do they feel calculated? Yeah, they
No,
feel
they
good.
feel very nothing feels calculated about
Okay.
him. If anything, there's a little bit of a controlling element to it, but it's only it's like a controlling out of love. Now that can always go south quickly, but
Right,
like
right.
as of right now, it's very protective, very like sweet, very innocent. You know,
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah. And then at the end of this chapter, Feyre finally asks Tamlin for some paint. So she's starting to feel like good, comfortable. And he says, absolutely. And he offers to show her the gallery once it's been cleaned. And Molly has some inappropriate notes that we're not going to share there.
By the way, I just realized we're both kind of wearing like a green sheer.
Of course we are.
situation
Of
every time.
course we are. Every time.
We had such a beautiful, lovely, like warm moment, and in typical Sarah J. Maas fashion, she rips any safety away from us because chapter 17 starts with Feyre hearing screaming downstairs, and she runs downstairs and she sees Tamlin carrying in this fairy whose wings have been very clearly ripped off, so they're just two little stubs, bleeding uncontrollably. And Tamlin says his magic isn't strong enough to save the dying fairy. Lucien's throwing up. Feyre's grabbing his hand. He's screaming that she took his wings. They finally
Over
realize.
and over.
Oh, it's,
She took my wings. She
That's-
took my wings. I
oh,
hated it.
it's
I
gotta
hated
be awful, 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 awful. But they keep saying she took my wings, so we still don't know who this she is. But obviously, the most evil of all is a woman.
Oh, did y'all hear that? There might be 7 High Lords.
Now she's a psychopath murderer, but
It's all right. It's fine. It's cool. She's
but
powerful,
nobody's
though.
perfect. Okay, nobody's perfect.
They realize that this poor fairy is going to die. Feyre holds his hand until he passes, and they're all devastated. And she wants to go with Tamlin to bury this fairy, and he's like, no. He goes, you're staying here. He goes, but I'll walk you upstairs to your room before I leave. And that first moment, I was like, is he saying no because there's something out there that he's scared is going to hurt her? Does he just not want her to go? Like, I was like, oh God, okay. So that happens, and she tells him, this was like the first moment for me that I felt she was truly vulnerable to Tamlin. And she goes, I am so, so sorry that I, took your friend's life. And if I could take it back, I would. And she really meant it. It wasn't just like a sorry. You could tell she's feeling something, whether even that's just friendship or romance or whatever she feels for this creature. And she felt so bad, and they all just went through this just traumatic event together. I love the apology. And
There's
so
a quiet understanding that's building between Tamlin and Feyre, and Lucien too, but mainly for all intents and purposes, Feyre and Tamlin. And it's like this, I think we see each other. And so I love that she apologized truly and authentically about killing. And it's not that he doesn't understand it. He said many times Andras was kind of an idiot and whatever, but and he also understands that if she didn't kill this animal, she wasn't going to eat. Her family wasn't going to get to eat. So it's not like she was just killing to kill.
of course, there was a reason, and he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, right?
Yeah.
So then we roll through chapter 18.
Loved this chapter. So just sweet, fun. Our 3 besties are going to go on a little picnic.
So cute. So freaking cute. And Feyre comes down to Lucien and the family, and they're all talking, and they say that their horses are ready and they're going to go on a killing-free adventure.
Yes.
And Tamlin smiles when she asks where they're going. Those little moments just like get my gut, and I go back and reread them because I'm like, I just love it so much. So
it's making it harder and harder to find a man in real life. Because unless I find a man that's been written by a woman, how will I like you? You know what I mean?
Girl, I mean, back to the very beginning of this app, that sweet little note in the middle of the night.
Oh, I hope I find love like that.
It's gonna happen, baby.
They all go to one of Tamlin's favorite childhood haunts. It's this like pool of starlight, and they go swimming in it, and Daddy Tam takes his shirt off. And we learned why Lucien had such an awful reaction to the dying fairy. So we're starting to learn a little bit more about Lucien. He's the youngest of 7, the sons of the Autumn Court, and his dad sounds like just a sick bastard. He kills the love of Tamlin's life. His dad killed her and made his brothers hold him so he could watch it. And because she didn't have Fey blood, like the high Fey blood or whatever. It's like a ruining the bloodline thing. Or so we realized Lucien left his whole family at the Autumn Court because they're all disgusting, toxic masculinity, and goes to be with Tamlin. At the Spring Court.
I wonder how Tamlin and Lucien met.
I think we find out later.
Later? Okay. Because I was just so curious for him to leave his entire family, even though obviously it was awful what happened. You would hope that individual would leave.
I think they were friends, and I'm not sure, but I do know that because Lucien's so good at talking to people, he's so easygoing, very Danny McBride, that he becomes Tamlin's emissary. So, kind of his go-to guy to figure out what's going on in the worlds.
So then they're there at this sparkly pond magical spot, and Tamlin asks Feyre what would make you happy, and she doesn't know. She's coming into her strength, though, and she unbuttons her clothes a little bit, and he looks her up and down, which be still my heart. And then she says, he gave me a lazy smile before removing his clothes, button by button.
Hot. He's got that like big chest.
Girl, you better get in that little sparkling pond. He asks her, though, like, how did your dad lose his fortune? He's actually curious, asking her all the questions, and she slowly tells him about her years in the woods, and she's really opening up at this point. This is big for both of them. And on their way home, Feyre says to Lucien, hey, thanks for the Suriel. Even if you told me instructions that could get me killed. And he gives her a jeweled knife, which I love this so much.
I love it so much. Also, quick question. I told the real estate guy 3, not 3:30, and he just called me and said he's here. So my podcast is going.
What is the podcast that you're doing?
We're a book club.
Oh.
Yeah.
What book are we talking about?
Right now we're reading Akatar, which is... Hey, Alyssa. There's our co-host right there. Okay, here we go.
No, you're fine. You're safe.
Hello, I'm so sorry. And we're back.
Do you want to roll into it?
Love it. Here we go. Chapter 19, Daddy Tam takes her to the gallery. Obviously, she's a big artist. I also love how Feyre talks about colors and how she sees things, even with her limited vocabulary. She sees things differently, and it's very clear, and I love it. So he takes her to the gallery, and he's smiling, dare I say, excited. She said, why do something this kind for me? And he says, it's been a long time since there was anyone who appreciated these things. So I'm really getting Beauty and the Beast, like the Beast has been locked up in the castle for hundreds of years, and he's just happy to have another person that's not Lucien.
Do you think that this was inspired loosely off of that? Because there are quite a few times that I was like, even the way the Beast looks, and they're very similar. Hey, speaking of casting, do you know who I keep seeing, and I have to show it to you?
Oh my gosh.
It's from a long time ago, so it's not current. Okay. But Brad Pitt, Legends of the Fall.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is that not Tamlin? It's Tamlin. Tamlin.
100%.
That's like what I see when I read.
Legends of the Fall, BP.
So
One of my dad's favorite movies.
So, anyways, she is so happy. She's in this
She's in
gallery.
heaven.
She paints for weeks.
Yeah,
And
he bought her a bunch of paints, a bunch of canvas. Like, this man is invested. Okay?
Do you see why I say Team Tammy?
Of course, for now.
You bite your tongue. Don't you dare. Don't you break my heart. Listen, the internet tells me some little things.
I know,
and
you
always
are, the
scroll
internet
away.
has ruined a few things for you, but
I'm
it's okay
trying.
because it's the journey.
It is the journey, and I'm quite enjoying the journey.
Love
and Feyre gets a little upset when he has to go. She gets more worried, when he's got to go like handle business, big business.
Go get him, daddy.
She realizes that her family might have forgotten about her,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
sad. Hate that, but
Yeah.
she's just making the best of what her life and her world is. What would you do?
I'm having a hard time feeling bad for her though, because she was living a really tough life with siblings that were so awful to her and her dad who obviously wasn't even awake enough to care. And now she's living this what a beautiful, but it's still your family and you still are going to miss them.
Of course. And it's
He's
very
being a little bit of a
complicated.
brat.
Wasn't she picking off like the roses in the garden that Tamlin's
Jordan, yes.
Tamlin's dad painted them for his mother, correct?
Correct.
And she's just picking them off.
She's plucking them, but he realizes, because apparently Daddy Tam has a higher emotional EQ, he realizes that it's because she's hurt that her family, it seems like her family doesn't care about her, that she's left.
Still don't pluck the roses, please. Oh, and then she tries to explain to him what she's going through and how it must seem absurd, which is literally what we were just saying. And Tamlin says, if it grieves you, then I don't think it's absurd at all.
Oh, I love it.
And then he takes both of her hands and kisses her palms. And goes,
Because he's healing. The thorns have cut her palms and she's bleeding because she grabbed him and whatever, and he healed her.
Oh my. So he's got a power to heal from kissing. Interesting. I can't wait to see all of these different magical powers unveil.
I know. I love it. I love it.
And then she says, why do any of this? And he says, because your human joy fascinates me. The way you experience things in your lifespan so wildly and deeply and all at once. I'm drawn to it.
I love it. I love it so much. My heart.
He kisses her cheek and then he leaves. And I'll let you take this one.
Well, the next morning she kidnaps him in like a little kind of trap.
Yep. I love that.
And he gives her 5 poems that he's written for her. And each poem was a little limerick, a little dirty limerick, using the words that she wanted to look up to understand. So, like, this man is, dare I say, obsessed a little bit?
He's invested and he's being creative with it, which I love this.
That's such a kinder way of putting that.
He's obsessed with me. You're quite creative, Tamlin.
Love it.
Yeah, then we learned that the High Fae mostly marry, but if they're lucky, they find their mate.
Yes. So this is very important. So Faes marry, all over, but it's like people that have found their soulmate, like you and Freddie. Like it's a very serious thing when two fairies find their mate. There's like a bond. It's a whole thing.
So I wonder when that locks in. Do they have to be married first? Does it happen first? Like,
I don't know. Well, I do. I don't know.
could it happen with a human and a fairy, or
Sure.
is it? Oh, it can.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it could happen. It could lock in with 2 people that just met.
Really?
Like, it doesn't have to be earned. Sometimes it is, but it doesn't have to be earned. The mate is like a predestined thing that the universe has set up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, maybe life imitating art. If your realtor wasn't married. I don't even know who he is. I'm just laughing because it's an ongoing joke. I have to circle back.
Very sweet. Full circle. That was a full circle moment. But we also learn that Tamlin's dad was a piece of shit, and so were his brothers.
Hate that.
And they were all murdered by an enemy court. And so we find out why Tamlin is the head of the Spring Court. It's because his whole family was eradicated. And yeah, but I guess they were monsters. I'm starting to see a lot of these big Fae men, shocking, are bad.
Monsters. But that's why he must rule the land now, and he never wanted to do that. Ugh, Tamlin.
No, our sweet daddy.
And
Tamlin.
then we learn about Calanmai. Am I saying that properly?
I think so. Yeah.
Calanmai. It's a fairy spring ceremony, but Feyre is not invited. Oh, and you know that girl is livid about that.
She's butthurt for sure.
She's like,
She's
I
very
want to
upset.
go.
I
And
don't blame her. I'd want to go. All you fairies are about to party, and I can't go. What the F?
and you kind of want to see what this new world is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
There's my Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Guys, I tell her all the time she sounds just like Jennifer Aniston. So many inflections in her voice. I heard you when you were with the realtor downstairs because I obviously was sitting listening. And I go, there's Jennifer Aniston. Oh, there she is. It's only twice there.
Wow.
But then all of a sudden it goes quiet. And an invisible force comes to yell at Lucien and Tamlin. A warning. And what is it that is there to
We don't know what
terrorize?
the warning is, but we're told it's something called the adder or the ator.
Yep.
How you say it? But it's some another real freaky creature that lives in this fairy world.
Don't love that. Don't love
No.
that at all.
Don't love that at all.
And I feel like this is when your little page inserts are really helpful because my imagination makes up a lot of crazy stuff, but sometimes it's nice to kind of pair it together, and see
Right.
what other people think. So then Calanmai is here, and
Yes.
Feyre, she just putzing around, and she's irritated, understandably, that she can't freaking go. And she runs into Tamlin, who says that because he's a High Lord, he has to participate in the Great Rite.
yeah,
And you're
something
like,
called the Great Rite.
what is that?
Okay.
And he tells her to stay in her room and stay in her chamber and do not come out until morning. Like
He's very adamant about this.
Yes.
Do not
like-
come out.
And she's like, what the heck? What could this,
Yeah.
why?
Like
Why?
it sounds like it's dangerous. Like don't come out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
dangerous.
bad things will happen. And I
Right.
was like, what's the Great Rite? Like, what does he have to do since he's High Lord? Like, you're just trying to figure all this out. Does she listen to him?
No, of course not. Nor would I.
No.
Nor would
This little human, she's I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna see what's going on. And she realizes that she has a glamour on, so she's not gonna be able to see any of the fairies' faces, which
Right.
they do to her a lot.
They
but
fuck
it's
with her a
fine.
lot. Right.
They do. But then suddenly she's out there, she's looking around, and 3 bad, naughty fairies appear, and they are up to no good. Like, they want to mess with her.
Yeah.
You're kind of
They can
scared.
tell she's human. They want to fuck with her.
Yeah, they're cornering her, and
It's
you kind of go
scary.
for a
Yeah.
minute. This is not great.
Yeah.
What happens when this
Well-
is going on?
And I quote, most beautiful man I've ever seen shows up and says, there you are. I've been looking for you. But we don't know who this man is. But these
First-
fairies are afraid of him immediately and they
And he
leave.
dips. Yeah, or they dip.
Immediately.
Yeah. The one thing that bothered me about this statement, because this is her POV, I go, why is this the most beautiful man to you? Like, you got Tamlin. Like, who is this? Like,
Sure. Well, all
relax.
the high fae are hot, right? Like we know this. They're all like gorgeous, beautifully
Yep.
attractive, whatever. So you can have like Brad Pitt and Idris Elba are both super sexy,
Of course.
but
Gotcha.
very different sexy.
Gotcha.
For some reason, Sarah J. Maas wants us to understand that this guy is the most beautiful man she's ever seen in her life, which I thought was weird.
I felt like really icky inside for a second.
Yeah.
I go, but you got Tamlin right there. But the one
Right.
thing I was questioning was that these 3 fairies are there, right? They're about to cause trouble. Who knows what they were going to do to her.
Yeah.
But then this fairy saves her, and you're like, well, why did 3 fairies leave one, first of all, right? Like, what? Oh, I found her, or there you are, I've been looking for you. Why did they leave? And then who is this guy to say that to her? You know what else I was thinking is maybe he and Tamlin both know her from another lifetime. And so I'm like, was this Tamlin's lover? Why is he there? Why is he interested? Maybe they knew her.
So you don't think he just said, "There you are, I've been looking for you," to try and save her, like pulled it out of his ass, like, "There you are, I've been looking for you, get away." You think it was intentional?
Why would he want to save her? These fairies do not, from what my understanding is, they do not do this, right? Like they're not there to be nice to humans. He was intrigued. He goes, "It's been a while since I've seen a human." And then when he grabbed her, like he touched her, like he knew her. I don't know. I just was picking up on it. Seems like you and Tamlin,
they don't care about us. Yeah. She dips on him. I mean, he's asking her questions, saying, "Why are you here? Who do you know?" She's lying. She's saying, "I have some friends here, and we're just here for the Calanmai or whatever."
She said, "My friends are fairies." Okay, girl.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he goes. Lucien spots her and is like, "Stupid mortal." He actually yells at her, and then he flips her over his shoulder and carries her back to the castle. Like a sack of potatoes. And he breaks down that this is called the Great Rite. This is when the 7 High Lords regenerate and use their magic for like their crops or something. Since their magic comes from the earth, this is the night where they like give it back to the earth, or I don't know. He explains that Daddy Tamlin is going to allow a great and terrible magic to enter his body. And that the magic will seize control of his mind, his body, and his soul and turn him into the hunter. And it will fill him with his sole purpose, which is to find the maiden. And from their coupling, magic will be released and spread to the earth, and it will regenerate life for the year to come. Like, first of all, sign me up. I would love. Like,
she goes, "Take me there. Prythian Spring Court, let's up and go, baby."
So all these hot fairy bitches are there tonight to get ran through by Daddy Tam.
I wonder how she's feeling at this point.
I mean, she doesn't really lay any claim to him, so like...
No, but they just had that cute little time.
I would feel a little jealous.
Yeah. And also all these girls are lining up for him. Like, don't love that either. Don't
Wouldn't
love that.
you?
No, I'm married.
Right, of course. So, she's finally gotten the point. She locks herself in a room, but by like 2, she hasn't eaten anything. She's bored. She's hungry. So she leaves, even though she's been warned by Lucien. Tamlin, this version of Tamlin is not the one that you know. And everything that we know about fairies is scary, right? If they're out of control. So she still decides to go out. She goes to the kitchen, gets like a bunch of snacks and stuff. I love this bitch. This is like me high at 1 a.m, like...
She's looking for it. She's asking for trouble. She knows she's gonna find something.
Of course she's trying to run into him. I would be doing the exact same thing. And then she runs into him.
And what happens?
He says, "I smelled you." And then he pins her to the wall. Like, I actually have a picture. This was one of my little pictures in my book.
Oh, one of the inserts.
We got an insert of the hot fairy that she doesn't know, right?
Oh, that's the one who saved her.
This is the one that saved her from the fairies, okay?
Who said, "There you are, I've been looking for you."
There we go. And then, this is like the hottest ever. Then we get this one. Woo! Sign me up. Immediately. Excellent. Give me 14 of them right now.
Now, here's the thing, though. He just hooked up with someone else, correct?
As far as we're concerned, yeah. He's just been inside of another fairy.
Cool. Yeah. And the one thing he did say to her, though, because he smelled her, he was looking for her, and that's why he told her, "You better stay in this room because I don't want to do anything," because he doesn't know the magic that's going to come out, what's going to happen. Right. But he does say to her, "I would have been gentle with you."
I would have been like, "Why?" Sorry. Okay. He bites her neck. She loves it.
Yeah.
He says, "Don't ever disobey me again." And she fucking slaps him.
My girl.
Love.
He loved it.
He loved it.
Yeah.
She says, "Don't tell me what to do." He growls and he walks away. And I need a cold shower. We get to our final chapter. Chapter 2. She's up bright and early because she didn't have a crazy night last night, right? All our boys are hungover. They both look pretty beat up. She has a little bruise on her neck from Daddy Tam.
She's excited to show it off, though.
Of course.
She's happy about this. And she's like, "Oh, hey, guys. She's in her little dress. She wants to be looking good for her new mans.
Yep. Tamlin brought her roses from his parents' garden at dinner to apologize. Yeah, they just have like a fun, cheeky little hang. Then Feyre puts on a gorgeous little dress to stunt.
Oh, it was after. Okay, so she wanted to first see him. She came down. She was telling Lucien, like, he did this to me. Like, had no problem letting him know.
Right.
And Lucian's like
he's hilarious. He's so cheeky. He's so funny. I love him. And then they decide to go to another little like hill, spring court. There's a lot of nature. There's a lot of hills. She has a cute little dress. And then she wants to show him her paint room and her paintings. And there are all these like real dark photos paintings that she's done, and there's one particularly dark one of the woods and the coldness of where she came from, and that's the one that he wants the most because it's her. Yeah. And she is desperate to help him with this blight because I think she truly cares about him. There's real deep feelings being developed here. She wants to help him with the masks and the sickness and everything that's happening, and he says you can't. But he does explain how she makes him feel seen. And the picture of the woods that she drew, their shared knowledge of the burden of taking care of others is just that, like, we have two creatures that just see each other. And
I feel too, this is really showing who she was meant to be, who she is inside. I mean, she always was this way for her family, right? Hunting, taking care of them. Right. But her caring enough to go, hey, this is actually my new world. I'm absorbing this. I'm realizing like this is real. Let me help you. But he's saying there's nothing she can do. So she probably feels a little helpless. But at this point, it's a really sweet, sweet time. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Literally,
I know. And dive back in.
And everyone, next week we will be reviewing chapters 23 to 34. So do not forget. And also don't forget to follow us on social media at A Novel Bunch Podcast. We are having so much fun. We're sharing so many behind the scenes stuff. And you can also see
such cute footage to share with you all from our trip. So
make sure you're following Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. And we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.